Hi, this is Randall, and welcome again to the YouTube channel. I'm so excited that you're here, and we're going to talk about a lot of different things. As hopefully you saw my intro a few days ago, so you have a good idea of what we're about. So one of the features we're going to have is where I'm going to jump in and give you a hot take on something that I saw in the news that I think could make a difference for your business. And I put this under the concept of there's opportunity everywhere all the time if you know how to look for it. So in this case, let's just do a quick hot take on something that I saw in the news yesterday in yesterday's Wall Street Journal. And it is an announcement that, as you can see here, CVS is to close 900 stores over 3 years. And basically what they're saying is that they're going to close 300 stores a year for the next 3 years. They hadn't announced which stores it is yet. But you have to ask yourself, what does this mean if I'm an XBE? What does this mean to my small business? What potential opportunities for me here? And so when you read this, let's just go quickly because I said we're doing quick hot takes. Some of the things that you have to think about is in closing 300 stores, what's all involved? So let's just walk through them. First, they've got to deal with the people issue because clearly there's a people impact of getting rid of how many ever employees and staff that you have to affect communities for that many locations. All right, and this 900 total is roughly about 10% of their U.S. locations. All right, just so we're clear how many we're talking about here. The second thing is the actual physical stores themselves, the real estate. So if you're in real estate, you might be looking at what is CVS going to do with these properties? Did they own them? Did they lease them? How are they doing this in some type of coordinated fashion? And then is there an opportunity to support them over the next 3 years and what they're going to do with the real estate? Or is there another use that potentially can be had of these properties? So that's another issue. Moving the actual inventory. What are they going to do with that inventory? First, how do you get all the inventory out of those stores? How do you deal with the removal of the shelves and whatnot? Do they need a team of people, a contractor to come in and actually remove all that inventory and take all of the branding off the stores, to take all the CVS signs down and where those are going to go, and to physically come in and disassemble all the shelving units, and then do anything else that's involved to make sure that that is an empty building that doesn't compromise CVS's security or brand in any way. So somebody's going to have to go in and do that. And then, of course, the transportation of all this stuff, and then the storage and warehouse locations of all this stuff. Right now, we just clearly ticked off about 6 or 7 or 8 different opportunities if you're an XBE to come in and help CVS, all right? And then if you continue to look at what the announcement says, it says right here, the company also said it, they're going to figure out what the stores are closing, but they're also going to look at converting some of the stores to a different model. They're going to convert them to some health supply locations where they're actually going to be providing healthcare services to some of these locations, in which case you still have some of the same issues. You have the issue of whether or not they are going to need staff to put those things together. They're going to have to put whatever custom inventory. They're going to have to do some potential remodeling and a whole host of other issues to make sure that those services are provided, setting up new offices. So they're going to need support for that. There's a good chance that they can't do all of this on their own. All right. So when you really and truly start thinking about that, because you're going to come up with some stuff that I didn't, some services that they're going to need that I didn't even get into. Clearly, there's probably some professional services issues, potentially some architectural issues, some green energy opportunities, and other kinds of things that are going on that they're going to need. But you want to come back and you also want to look at what is really the issue driving all of this. And if you want to get back at the issue that's driving all of this, it is the amount of money that they've lost, the revenue shortfall. So if you start thinking about that critically, you start saying, well, how much money have they lost? Why is this the smartest plan for them? What might my company be able to do to actually help them offset the loss, or actually start getting back into a sales growth mode and a market share growth mode? All right, because there might be some things that you might be able to do to support them in that. And to tell you how significant this is, one of the things you see in this article is that they are moving beyond the person that was in charge of this, who had only held the job for less than a year, and they've set it up into two different business units with two different people coming from two different parts of the business. Their specialty pharmacy and their product innovation people will be running this for, which tells you more about the future of the business and where they're going to need additional support from folks who understand how to deal in this environment. So that's our quick take. When you read this, you should be able to come back and start figuring out for yourself, how might you support or approach CVS, because you did your homework, you know one of the challenges that they're going through, and you have a specific solution that potentially can make a difference for them. So that's our first hot take. I will see you on the next one. This is Randall. Bye for now.